Hello, my name is Form, and this is Formcast. I always kind of like dreamt of having a show where like I would introduce this something like that, like my talk show, and I would have this cool little jingle, kind of like Sports Center has or something like that. Anyways, that's not the case because I mean this is a podcast and it's not a talk show, and we're not there yet or ever. That being said, good morning, good afternoon. If you're listening at night, good evening. Thank you so much for listening. This week, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. The truth about podcasting at my level and with my brain capacity, I didn't really know what to talk about this week. Struggled to find a topic, struggled to find anything in like the streaming industry or anything that I was kind of passionate about talking about this past week. It's been kind of a weird one in terms of self growth. I really kind of just focusing or trying to focus on my communication skills with my family, with friends outside of the internet. You know, just trying to really focus on being kind worded when sharing opinions, being cognizant of what others are going through, and just kind of not necessarily using that harsh tonality when talking to people like my parents about things. Um, I think I've been learning this as much as I can in the last year or so, but more so lately because of what my dad's got to go through, what Papa Form's got to go through in terms of his surgery. And it kind of struck me, to be honest, yesterday when I went over for dinner and I walked in. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Well, it is what it is. We're still here." And then my Mama Form chimes in and says, "Yep, so what it's been all week. Just that's his motto, new motto now." And it saddened to me immediately to know that he's uh, living every day with this new motto, this new feeling of anxiety and like I'm still here, I guess, and just not the most optimistic outlook on things. And I mean, listen, and this is where my communication skills kind of came in. I was like, you know what? I understand. I totally understand why you're like that. And before I would have said like, well, that's not a good way of doing it. Like, why are you talking like that? Why are you thinking like that? That's stupid, you know? But I tried to take that less harsh way with a less harsh tonality and a bit better word choosings. I know that's not a word, but word choice. And just say, you know what, I understand why you feel that way. And I kind of contributed it to um, a few things. I mean, he's getting older and he's got to go through this heart surgery. If you haven't been following, Papa Form has to have pretty much open heart surgery in the next couple months. When? Not entirely sure yet, but we'll figure it out soon. And and it's a tough one to swallow. It's a tough pill to swallow. And I told him, I said, listen, Dad, I said, I don't even want to go get my shoulder looked at because I fear that I have to get surgery. And I don't even want to be going through the mental game of I can't go work out. I feel like crap. I don't want to do anything anymore. I can't move my shoulder. I can't move my arm. I can't, I feel like I'm getting, large and, like all those mental things that might come with something like a surgery. And meanwhile, he's got to go through heart surgery. And so I told him, I said, if I feel that way about a shoulder surgery, I can only imagine how you feel about your heart. And I think that for me, I think that was a huge step forward in terms of how I communicate with my family, in hopes of them realizing that it's okay to feel how they feel, but it's also good to, I guess you can say, harness that feeling, understand it, but then move past it, right? So just kind of working on that, I guess, lately. And it made me think about it last night and just kind of mentioning it today because I think in many of our lives, and I'm not going to speak for anybody listening, but if you do listen to this, and or if you're watching on YouTube, I do feel like we get so involved in our own little things that we forget that sometimes we deflect without even knowing. We deflect our trauma, we deflect our anger, our frustrations, our disappointments, maybe in ourselves onto other people through just the way we speak sometimes. Um, and it's not good. It's not good, especially because you could subconsciously be hurting the people you do love, like your parents. So, a little bit of food for thought on that one. Now, this episode will be short because I don't have a whole lot to say. I think my mind has been a little bit busy with everything going on with my dad. Subconsciously, consciously, I think more so than I think, and that might be why I'm a little brain fogged. It's kind of like a writer's block right now. Um, let's switch up the gear here and mention, obviously, I'm going to Florida soon, if you haven't heard, near the end of the month. So there will be probably 1 week with no podcast, unless I bust my arse off and do 2 in 1 week, which we all know about that, me busting my arse. Not sure that'll happen. So there might be a week where we don't have an episode, but I'll do my best. Now, going away is going to be fun. And I have a lot of anxiety about not working or just working less. Going to try and do my best in terms of getting on stream a couple times while I'm away, just to do some just chatting stuff, catch up with people, share what I've been doing, share what I've been up to. But aside from that, not going to be a whole lot. And I'm finally kind of coming down with the idea of like, that's okay. It's going to be okay to get away from it. It's going to be okay to remove myself from things and take a break and just kind of enjoy my vacation as much as I can. And with that being said, one last thing. If you haven't realized, if you don't watch my streams, I have a new microphone. I shared this story on stream where my mic was cutting in and out, and didn't know why. And we thought it was, I was sure SM7B, and we thought it was the cable that's attached to the microphone directly. It just seems that every time I played with it, it would stop doing what it was doing, and so on and so forth. So I didn't know what to do to how to fix it because I couldn't send it away. I need a microphone. I have a Blue Yeti, but I didn't want to use it as a backup. I'd have to go buy cables to make it work with the Go XLR, et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of annoying. First world problems, of course. But I went to our local music audio store, and I explained my situation. And the guy was like, well, we could send it off for you just to our store, our distributor down south. You don't have to send it to the States or anything like that. Takes maybe a couple weeks, and then it's done. So, well, I need it because I use it every day for work, right? For streaming. Well, why don't you rent one from us? I said, what? I didn't know that was an option. So lo and behold, I bring my broken mic to them to send off, and I get to rent a brand new SM7B right out of the box. The guy took the box off the floor. The tape was on it and everything. He had to cut it open. They send me, or they let me leave with this thing. It's like $40 for a whole month or something crazy. Super, super cheap to rent a brand new microphone. And it works nicely. The thing is, when I came home, I plugged it in, used it, and not soon after, it started doing the exact same thing, cutting in and out. Two things crossed my mind. One, it definitely wasn't the wire that's attached to the microphone. This is a brand new microphone. Two, I'm dumb. I switch out the XLR cable that's clicked into it, and because I have an old one, and I swear I tried it with my old mic, switching from my other white one to this black one I have initially, my initial wire cable that I bought with my mic. And I swear I tried it and it still did the problem. I swear, but I might not have. And this cable is a lot shorter to go all the way around my desk to my PC. So hence using a longer wire, a longer cable, that always worked. I plugged the black one in. Hasn't done the problem ever since. So instead of being the wise guy that calls back and says, hey, did you send my microphone off yet? Because I'm pretty sure it's not the microphone. I'm pretty sure it's my cable. I just let them send it and figure out if they call me and say there was no problem with it. And I'll just act stupid and say, I'll figure it out, I guess. Yeah, pretty sure it was a cable all along. Needless to say, my microphone is sent off and it's going to get looked at. If there is something wrong, well, they'll find it and we'll figure it out. But I'm pretty sure there's nothing wrong with the mic itself. Yeah. Anyways, that's my stories for the week. Be kind to one another. I appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.